Hey guys, how are you all? This is me Nikhil and I'm back again with another video. Since I recently received my PGWP, I'm gonna apply for my TRV. So in this video, I'm gonna show you guys how you guys can apply for your TRV after receiving a postgraduate work permit in Canada. First, you will have to open your Google browser and search IRCC login. Then you have to open this canada.ca link to sign in your IRCC account. And when you scroll down, you will see there will be two options to log in. The first one will be using GC key and second is sign in partner. If you are opening this for the first time, then you will have to register an account with your name. But since I have used my bank to as a sign in partner to sign into my IRCC account, I'm gonna use this option. Here you can see all the applications that you have submitted till now. So this is the application for my work permit that is approved. After scrolling down, you will see this option apply to come to Canada. We have to ignore this option of personal reference code as we are students who are applying from inside Canada for a TRV. Instead, we have to go to this I do not have personal reference code option and select visitor visa, study and work permit option. Clicking on this will open some questions, and based on the answers that you give to these questions, it will give you which visa are you eligible to apply for. So the first question is what would you like to do in Canada, so you have to select work here. The second question is how long are you planning to stay in Canada, so you have to select temporarily for more than 6 months. The third question is select the code that matches the one on your passport, so since I have an Indian passport, it's gonna be India. The next question is what is your current country territory of residence. If you are presently in Canada, you should select Canada. So since we are applying for a TRV from inside Canada, it's gonna be Canada. The next question is do you have a family member who is Canadian citizen or permanent resident and is 18-year-old? So it's gonna be no for my case. In the final question, you have to select your birth date. In my case, it's gonna be 12th of July 2000 and just press next. The next question is are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States with a valid USCIS number? So it's gonna be no here. Press next. What is your current immigration status in Canada? So since you have gotten a work permit, you have to select worker. Next we are gonna have these questions, and in most of the cases all the answers are gonna be no, but still I recommend you guys to read every question and then only select your answer. For my case, it's no for all the three questions, and then we have to press next. Have you been told by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada office that you are approved in principle for permanent residence? So since we all are students who have received our PGWP and we are applying for a TRV from inside Canada, so it's gonna be no because most of us wouldn't have applied for PR. The same here, have you submitted for PR application? It's gonna be no here. So the next question is do you have written job offer? So this question is gonna be no in most of the cases. This question is mainly for the people who have LMIA. So even though we would have our job offers as a worker here, we have to select no in this case because we don't have a LMIA. You have a valid employer specific work permit and have been abused, or there is a risk of being abused in relation to your job in Canada. It's gonna be no here. What is your marital status? So it's gonna be single for me, never married. Next question is what is your province or territory or destination? So you have to select the province in which you will be spending most of your time. So it's gonna be British Columbia for me. You have to select whatever province you are in. So based on the answers we have given, this is my result. So I am eligible to apply for a temporary resident visa. Then press continue. Which of the following best describes your situation? So in our case, it's gonna be I have an open work permit. Then press next. Have you had a medical exam performed by IRCC authorized panel? So it's going to be no because when we applied for study permit we did a medical, but it was more than 12 months ago. A medical exam is needed before you submit an application for foreign nationals who. So these are the jobs for which the people who are going to apply have to give a medical exam, but since I am not going to do any of these jobs, I'm going to select no. Do you want to work in one of the following? So it's kind of a repetitive question, so you have to select no in this again. Do you want to submit an application for a family member? So it's gonna be no again. Are you giving someone access to your application? So I am only accessing my application, so it's gonna be no. In the past 10 years, have you given your fingerprints and photo for an application to come to Canada? It's gonna be yes. There are fees associated with this application. Will you be paying your fees or are you exempt? So I will be paying my fees, so it's gonna be yes. Are you able to make a digital copy of your documents with a scanner or camera? Yes. Will you be paying your application fees online? Okay, so it's gonna be yes here. So here are all your answers that you have submitted. So just review once what you have submitted, whether it's correct or not, and after that just select continue. So here it will show all the steps for submitting the applications. We have already completed the first two, so just continue and proceed to the third one. Now we are supposed to submit all the required documents. So the first one will be the IMM 5257 form. So you just have to click on this link. So if the form doesn't open, you don't have to worry. You just have to go on the link and click here, and you have to download the Adobe Acrobat Reader.
Now let me show you guys how to fill the IMM 5257 form.
The red boxes on this form indicate the questions that you can't skip. So the first thing that we need to fill is the UCI number. You will find the UCI number on your postgraduate work permit. The second is I want the service in, so it's going to be English. The third is the visa requested, so it's going to be a visitor visa for this. Here you have to fill your family name, so that will be a surname, and in the box next to it you have to fill your name as it is in the passport. Have you ever used any other name? So it's gonna be no here. So here you have to fill all your personal details, your date of birth, your gender, your place of birth. For citizenship, since I have an Indian passport, I'll select India, and the country name is also gonna be India. Next up is the current country or territory of residence. It's gonna be Canada here. The status, it's gonna be worker, since I am on a postgraduate work permit. Here you have to mention the date that's on your work permit. One thing that you have to keep in mind here is that the date has to be greater than or equal to today's date. So for example, even though if you have received your work permit on 31st of August, but when you are filling the form it's 1st of September, you have to mention it as 1st of September there. The due date will be the same as in work permit.
Next we have the country or territory we're applying. Same as country or territory of residence, so I am applying from Canada only, so it's gonna be yes here. Next is your current marital status, so it's gonna be single, never married for me. Please be mindful that you guys just have to fill the boxes that are showing red. So since I have selected here single, the other boxes haven't changed the color, so we can just skip all the boxes and search for the next one that's red. Next question that we have is, have you previously been married or in a common law relationship? It's gonna be no. Next we have your native language or mother tongue, so it's gonna be Hindi for me. Are you able to communicate in English and or French? So it's gonna be English for me. Have you taken a test from a designated testing agency to assess your proficiency in English or French? Since I have given IELTS and it's still valid, I'm gonna select yes here. Next you have to fill all the passport details. Country of issue, it's gonna be India for me. You can fill the issue date, expiry date, everything from the passport. Next we have the national identity document. So basically this is in this case I have given my Aadhaar card number. Since I still have my Aadhaar card with me, I put yes, and just I put the Aadhaar card number and country of issue as India here. If you do not have your Aadhaar card, you can just select no there. Next is the USPR card. So since I don't have a USPR, I'm going to select no. Next we have all the mailing address information, your apartment number, your street address, your city, your country. This all you can fill just yourself. And the second option, that's the residential address there. If it's the same as the mailing address, you can select yes. Next up is the telephone number, alternate phone number, your email address, and fax number. Fax number you can skip. For alternate phone number, you can give any of your friends' phone number. Next up is the details of visit to Canada. First one is the purpose of my visit. Since you have received your postgraduate work permit and are applying for your TRV from inside Canada, so you have to select returning worker here. Next up is the indicate how long you plan to stay. So you have to put the from and to date of your postgraduate work permit. Make sure that the from date is greater than or equal to today's date that you are applying on. Next up is the funds available for my stay in Canadian dollars. So I put 6,000 Canadian dollars here. You can put how much you have, and if you don't have much, you can just put $5,000. There won't be an issue in that. Next up is the name, address and relationship to any person or institution I will visit. So here you have to put the details of your employer. First you have to put the name, and relationship to me will be employer, and then you have to mention their address. Next up is the education. Have you had any post-secondary education? So it's gonna be yes here. So here you have to fill the year and month of your study and your field of study and your name of the college along with the city, town and the country. Next up will be the employment. So since you are here in Canada, you will be working somewhere, so you have to just put your current occupation there. And if you are a freshie and it is your first job here, you can just mention one. You don't need to mention the second and third one. Only the first one is compulsory. Next up is the background information. So first one is within the past 2 years have your family member had tuberculosis in lungs? So it's gonna be no here for me. Do you have any physical or mental disorder that would require social health services? It's again gonna be no for me here. Let's go down. This first one is, have you ever remained beyond the validity of your status attended school without authorization? It's gonna be no. Have you ever been refused a visa or permit, denied entry? It's gonna be no in my case. If you guys have received any denial, you can select yes. Have you previously applied to enter in Canada? So here you guys have to be careful. So mostly when we are filling form in the background check, most of the answers they are no, but that's why I suggest everyone to read everything. It's gonna be yes here because we have applied to remain in Canada. For the reason, you just have to mention that yes, I applied for postgraduate work permit to stay in Canada. Next up is, have you ever committed, been arrested for? It's just gonna be no here straight. Next question is, did you serve in any military, civil defense? So it's gonna be no here. Next is, are you or have you been a member or associated with any political party? So it's gonna be straight no here again. Have you ever witnessed or participated in ill treatment of prisoners? It's again gonna be no. Next we have is, do you consent to be contacted by CIC or an organization at CIC's request? So select yes because you want to be updated about all the decisions that are taken. Next you have to just put your signature here and also put a date on which you are applying. After filling out all this information, you have to scroll down and click on validate. Once you click here, it will generate a barcode which will be a kind of confirmation, and if there will be any mistakes in your form, it will notify you, so you can just correct the mistakes and press validate again to receive the barcode. When you have received the barcode, it means that your form has been filled completely. Once you are done filling your IMM 5257 form, you have to open this window and upload it here. Next up, you have to return to your documents. Scroll down and see which other forms need to be filled. So you can upload your work permit, passport and digital photo here. As you can see, I have uploaded all the required documents. I haven't uploaded the optional documents because there's no need for it. Since we selected that we are not gonna work for any medical profession, the fees for biometrics is just $100 for us. But if we would have selected yes, it would have been $185. So you have to click next from here. Then this page will open and you have to scroll down, and here you have to select I agree. You have to sign and there will be a security question that you need to answer, and after that you have to proceed to make the payment. Once you have paid the fees, it will show this page saying congratulations, you have submitted your application, and you will see all the steps are ticked. And if you want to see how much time it's going to take for the TRV to come, you can click here and just select temporary residence here and select visitor visa from inside Canada and get processing time. So it shows it will take me 17 days as I have applied online to get my TRV. This is how you guys have to apply for a TRV after receiving a work permit from inside Canada. After this, you will have to wait for the approval of your TRV, and once you get the approval, they will send you a request for your passport. Once you get the request for your passport, you have to send it to the office and they will get it printed and send you within 15 to 20, whatever is their waiting time. So that was all for this video. I hope this video is helpful for you guys. If you guys have any doubt, you can ask the questions in the comment section and I'll try to answer everything. Please like, comment and share, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.